get this done by working together as a team.
Jeez, bub. Keep buzzing in my ear.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subject comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books, I love talking about them, I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. The Uncanny X-Men 189 from 1984. By John Byrne with Chris Claremont and Dan Green. And here we have Black Queen, and then we have Rachel Summers here, I believe, and Magma from the New Mutants over here. So here is the classic X-Men cover. Actually looks I don't know, looks better. Encounter at the Hellfire. Tom Rainey is the cover artist here. So and so we start out with maybe this isn't John Romita Jr. because that doesn't look like him here. Some view, Amara. Oh, Rachel, it is beyond belief. The mountains on my home in Nova Roma are magnificent works of nature, but this city is a creation of man. I don't think. Can you go up the Statue of Liberty nowadays? I don't think you can. New York, New York, the most wonderful town. So Chris Claremont gives us a little bit of exposition about the two here. Steve Leialoha is the inker, not Dan Green. That's why it looked a little bit different. Of course, the Statue of Liberty was being renovated, and of course you see the Twin Towers. And so here, two girls out to have fun. I made it a little bit bigger so you could see it better than before here. So Chris Claremont, John Romita Jr. with Steve Leialoha, who is a artist himself. Tom Orzechowski, as always, is the letterer. This poor guy having to letter at this time 3 Chris Claremont books that month is just insane. All right. And so we are now looking at Rachel. Remember, she comes from a different era, a alternate future here where she sort of hunted other mutants, and so she is remembering events that have yet to happen and may not even happen anymore. So real quick, these things are tattoos. And she psychically uses her powers to make people not see them. But that's what these are. They're tattoos. So they're having her find these people that are trying to escape. And they fire upon them. These are mutants. But they're just trying to get out. And the humans aren't letting them. So 3 less muties to worry about. And so Rachel's sad that they used her. And Magma says, Rachel, you're crying. What's the matter? Is anything wrong? And she says, no, not really. Just a speck in my eye, that's all. And Magma, of course, she's hiding something. So I want to help her, but for the moment, I will not press the point. And she says, there's a large vessel we saw upriver. Is that the one Ororo's on? And Rachel says, yup. The X-Men are with her to say goodbye. So, we shall miss you, Ororo. And you, Professor. It's a shame Kitty Pryde and Wolverine aren't here to send you off. Of course, they're in the Kitty Pryde Wolverine miniseries, which, by the way, I am covering as well. So, look at how they're dressed. That's just so funny. You could always wait till they return, says Nightcrawler. And Storm says, I considered it, Kurt, but perhaps it is best I leave now. I'm having a hard time bidding you all farewell. If I had to face Kitty, I fear I would never go, and I must, she says. So, enough of these sad words and faces. This is supposed to be a celebration. Champagne, everyone? as he pops the cord here. You're meant to sip that, by the way, as Loki is slurping it. I know. I seem to have acquired a taste for it. May I have another glass, Professor? Ororo, are you certain you made the right decision leaving the X-Men? And she says, of course not. But I am stripped of my powers as I am, and I am of little use to you, especially as a team leader. I cannot assume they will spontaneously regenerate or that some means of restoration might be found. Though either would be wonderful, I must rebuild my life. This is the best place, and the best place for that is Africa, my mother's home where I grew up to womanhood. And Xavier says, I understand. I wish I could do more. And they hug. You have been my teacher and my friend. Those gifts are beyond priceless. Nothing more is needed, she thinks here. And look, even Rogue is crying. And this is Ilyana Rasputin, his sister. And it looks like he has a ponytail, but that's her gloved hand here. And so the captain announces that they're leaving. And Storm is like, Ilena's like, time for us to leave. And she says, thank you, Lena. Nightcrawler, give Kitty my love. And Nightcrawler says, do that yourself when you return, as they all embrace her. So, all right. I don't think there is a Storm limited series or anything that was done during this time. I think she will return in Life Death 2, and then issues oh my goodness. She'll return close to issue 200. So we won't see her for almost a year. So for about 10 months, I believe, we won't see her. So Magma says, where shall we go next, Rachel? And Phoenix says, we're not meeting the others till this evening for dinner. That gives us whole afternoon. There's an exhibition at the Met I think you'll love. But first, if it's okay, I'd like to do some shopping. I figure I'm long past due. That sounds wonderful. Lead the way, says Magma. And so, meanwhile, this guy is unloading some stuff here. It says, this is the last load, Phil. I'm taking a break. And they're like, sure thing. And so, tomorrow's payday, and I'll be able to get books for the boys. Hey, that's my locker. And this guy's open it up, and he's like, this guy says, be cool, bro. And he goes, ow. And this guy here says, I ain't your bro, Stevens. I catch either you messing with my stuff, I'll take it out of your scummy highs. Now beat it, for you make me really mad. And he says, it's that necklace. I should have never left it here. That's asking for trouble, but I was scared to take it home. I didn't want to tell anyone what I found. How'd they know? And so the necklace kind of talks to him. It's a story that'll be coming up here. I summoned, they answered, as will all with greed and murder in their hearts. But 'twas thou who saved me, Jamie Rodriguez. Thou art my favored one. Yield to me thy soul, so small a price for so great a gift, and the world will be thine. He's like, no. The more I listen, the longer I have that thing, the more I want to say yes. And I know it is. That necklace is evil. I can't fight it much longer. I gotta get rid of it tonight, he says. And so, here at the Met here, they're going into this exhibit here. And, of course, she grew, Magma. I have covered New Mutants. They're in the playlist. I have a X-Men playlist. I have an X-Universe playlist. I have a New Mutants playlist. I have all sorts of playlists. Feel free to check them out. So this is kind of a recreation of Roman society there, and so we're gonna kind of skip this. It's a little bit of her origin, which I have covered in the New Mutants. Again, feel free to check out the playlist here. So suddenly she goes, pardon me here, nope, she gets startled here, and she's like, I thought those thought patterns, I know them, and she starts running here, and Magma, you can see them following, and Magma is asking, what are you running, girl? Why are you running? Um, so she goes, they seem to be close by, there in that limo. She's still relaxed, no sense of alarm. The instant I recognized her, I put a tight lock on my own side patterns. I don't think she spotted me. And she says, do you mind explaining what the devil's going on? Of course, Magma knows who Celine is, but she doesn't know that she's here. And she says, sorry, I mentally heard a familiar psychic voice. It belongs to a mutant who very nearly killed me named Celine. And of course, she's like, it cannot be. By the way, Pluto is like the devil in so he would be oh my god, so it's Pluto in the Roman. Oh my god, who's the underworld in Greek? Anyway, Hades. So she can't it can't be. And Rachel says, you know her too. I can see the image of her face in your mind. She's from Nova Roma. Amara, why are you angry at me all of a sudden? And she's like, my brain, my thoughts are my own. I do not like anyone spying on them, even a friend. And she goes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Celine, the demon huntress, killed my mother. If that is truly her, then her life is mine. You can see the two of them start. And I love this this right here, just all in black. That's pretty cool. So pulls up by the Hellfire Club here, and so they go around the servants' entrances, and so they're going to change into the servants what they wear here. And of course, Rachel's like, I never thought I'd have to wear this again. She feels like, having to pretend to be a slave. So here they are. How can women even stand to walk in such shoes? Stand in such shoes, much less walk. I fear my ankles will break with every step. And Rachel says, don't look at me, partner. This looper caper is your idea. This guy comes through and goes, I need one of you ladies upstairs. The other come with me. Ah, the butler. I wasn't even aware he was nearby. I have to be a lot more careful. I'm too used to my sight senses warning me of any trouble, she thinks here. And so, here, she says, Shaw, I'm Frederick von Rome, and I have the privilege to present as a candidate for admission into the inner circle of the Hellfire Club as its new Black Queen, Lady Celine. Of course, this is kind of going on at the same time as New Mutants, so this is sort of another introduction here. Really, I grant you, Von Rome, your protege certainly looks the part, but the title of Black Queen is a singular honor. It must be earned, says Shaw. That, my lord, will be my pleasure. And so she uses her power. Most impressive, madam, but you'll find Sebastian Shaw is not so easily caught. And then he thinks, or killed. If I had not broken free, that stone would have, I'd have been encased in stone and suffocated. My escape was a very near thing. And so he's going to explain his power here, where he absorbs kinetic energy, so the harder he's hit, the stronger he gets, but you can see him sweating here. But Celine was a passive attack, the kind most likely to defeat me. Was it a lucky coincidence, or does she know my weakness? Whichever, she made her intentions plain. I took the liberty of repairing your throne, Sebastian, and sits on it as if it's already hers, he continues, thinking. As you have seen, I have absolute control over all forms of inorganic matter. Would you like a further demonstration? And Shaw says, thank you. No, this was quite sufficient. So, and then of course this is Tessa, basically computer brain. Among my people, on such occasions, it is customary to present a gift to one's host as a gesture of fealty and respect. And so, be patient A small while, and I shall return with mine. So, and Tessa says, kind words from one who feels neither. And Shaw says, where did she go? Is the witch a teleporter? No, Sebastian. She created a momentary trance in uh, effect instant transitionary hypnosis, then slipped away before we recovered our wits. Sebastian, will you accept her? And he says, under the circumstances, Tessa, I fear I have little alternative. And so here comes Rachel here. And she's dismissed here. Um, she's a little ticked here. And she's walking through and runs into Celine here. And hits her with a Psyblast here. And she goes to see her. Only it turns out it was not. It was Amara. And turns out Celine had done this here. Did you truly think me so great a fool as to repeat myself, child? I have more respect for you and your powers. As he kind of picks her up by the neck here. That's pretty cool. Don't fret, my darling. I shan't take your entire soul yet, merely enough to place you within my power, along with your companion. Isn't that nice? I trust, Sebastian, I haven't kept you waiting. As she walks in. See what I have brought? Are they not lovely? Consider them yours, to do with as you will. And Tessa's like, the redhead, her resemblance to Jean Grey is uncanny. Are they related? Does she possess the power of the Phoenix? And she goes, as she thinks here, take the gift, use it to destroy Celine. And so here we have Rachel and saying, I refuse to be a slave again. This won't happen. And then she kind of thinks this uniform on her, but this is all in her head. And then she says, Amara's her prisoner still. I'll bet she's in the shape I am. I never broke her the Psylink I established back at the museum. Can I shift my consciousness into her skull without tripping Celine's alarms? Worth a shot anyway. I've got the zip to lose. So she goes, but Amara doesn't recognize her. This is all happening inside both their minds here as she's trying to get Magma to listen to reason, but Magma is not. And eventually in real life, Magma eventually does make it out. And Tessa says, Sebastian, if the fire girl is not stopped, her tremors will collapse the entire building. And he's like, I'm open to suggestion, Tessa. And then at Celine says, she's your gift, Celine, deal with her. If you can, sorceress, if you dare, says Magma here. And so Rachel understands that a lot of people can get killed here. And so she's going to use a psychic blast on her. And Celine says, foolish child, did you not learn the first we met that your psychic powers are no match for mine? And Celine uses her powers to grab the two kids. But Nightcrawler shows up, takes Celine, and teleports. And so Magma is able to get out. And here come the X-Men here with Professor X, like with a astral form, I guess. And so Rogue says, up against the wall, suckers. Looks like we've arrived in the nick of time, Colossus, as usual. Are you okay, Ray? Peachy Key and Rogue. And so she thinks here the professor's here too, in his astral form. Now we'll show these creeps. And Xavier says, if you wish to continue this battle, Shaw, the X-Men will be more than happy to oblige. And Sebastian says, where is Celine? And Xavier says, upstairs. And thanks to a nerve pinch from Nightcrawler, quite unconscious. And Magma says, I want her. And Xavier says, no, Amara, you will do nothing without my leave. I appreciate your feelings toward her, child, but my students do not kill. If you would remain with us, you must accept that. She's like, yes, sir. And Shaw says, I'll defy it. Abducting your brats wasn't my idea, Charles. And as Colossus frees Rachel, who are you calling brats, chump? The Hellfire Club has no quarrel with them or you. At the moment, if you wish to leave, that's fine with me. So you can see Colossus freeing her here. And so, look at this mess here. We can't go outside, especially like this. And look at Xavier's costume. We're in New York. Who'd notice? So, Xavier uses his powers to make everybody else looks different here. Oh no, sorry, Rachel does, but it took a little bit of her. You know, she'd have to force that on everybody that meets her. It's not. I'm sure it doesn't work that way here. So, and then this is what Magma did. And she goes, all this destruction, and for what, my friend? Celine yet lives. My mother remains unavenged. That accursed demon at liberty to spread her evil across your land as she did mine. And Rachel says, from what the professor said to Mr. Shaw, I bet it'll be a long time before she steps out of line again. And when she does, we'll be waiting and ready to nail her once and for all. And so we get to the last page here, and during this time, people knew Dazzler was a mutant, so that's why you see this sign of die me die. And Jaime is here and says, I'll hammer the gems to powder, then melt the metal bits in Luis's furnace. That'll be the end of this nightmare. Where's the blasted train? Why is it taking so long? Lousy MTA, don't run nothing right. And so he's listening to his Walkman, watching the TV here. It was called a Watchman. It basically used this antenna to catch the signals out there. So and so here comes this guy and stabs him and then takes the necklace. Meanwhile, they were talking about a Dazzler through here. And he grabs it, and suddenly he's like, oh, it burns. And he's like, free at last. Cooling Goth is free after countless centuries. My destiny is at hand to make this world mine forever. Next issue, An Age Undreamed of. So, Uncanny X-Men 189, Chris Claremont, John Romita Jr., and Steve Lealoha. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.